Welcome back to the channel, Hex Tribe, and all the new people here, because I know there's a lot of new people here, definitely a lot of new people. A lot of new friendly faces that just saw those nice little tasty green candles and wanted a little bit of piece of that action. So I am here today to try to just simply be of value to you. I could have put out another tutorial video, but I didn't really know what was the most valuable at this particular point in time. So I'm going to do a live stream AMA today to address any questions that anybody might have, especially if you're new into crypto, if you're new to Hex and this whole ecosystem. I know it can be really confusing. So in this stream, don't be afraid to ask what you might think is a dumb question. As long as you don't ask the same question that I've already answered, over and over again. That's really, anything goes here. So it's okay to be new. It's okay to ask stupid questions because, honestly, crypto is like another language to a lot of people. We're talking about, liquidity and there's so many terms, FOMO, whales, all this stuff that people might just have no idea of what's going on. Even pumps, dumps, plebs, getting wrecked. We have our own language in cryptocurrency, and it's off-putting to some people, but really when you start to get the hang of it, it's really, really fun. And we kind of have, colloquial words that make more sense to the common man, but that define the traditional financial system as well as this brand new ecosystem that we're building, because there's a new game in town, guys, and it's called crypto. Crypto is the parallel financial ecosystem that we are a part of right now. And if you're here watching, you're watching history in the making. It is like nothing else we've ever seen before. And you're still so early because guess what? PulseChain hasn't even launched yet. So if you're here, and Hex is 3 years old. You remember when Bitcoin was 3 years old? You remember all the opportunities still on the table for Bitcoin? So I'm just going to be talking about whatever you might want to ask. So ask away in the chat. Hey, we've got a super chat here. Hey, thank you so much, Motion Blur. Motion Blur wants to know, where is PLSX staking and Hex staking on Testnet? As of right now, that doesn't exist yet, but it's going to get there eventually. So if you guys were following from the Testnet V2B, I'll try to explain this in visual terms. V2B, let's pull up V2B. V2B. Because that was the older version of the testnet, guys. Before testnet version 3, guess what? There had to be a version 2 and a version 1, obviously, right? So when a lot of people go to the PulseX staking tab, here, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I'm just going to go to version 3 and show you guys where it would be and show you guys where to look for it. Because right now, eventually you're going to be able to stake your PulseX. That is true. It's going to be single-sided staking, and you're going to be able to stake for any number of alternative coins that people want to post up in order to basically reward people staking PulseX. And that's going to be governed by the community and governed by whoever wants to make a pool and whatever pools get voted in. And then Hex staking, guys, Hex staking is going to be the exact same as go.hex.com. You're just going to switch networks in the top right corner. So I think the Icosa app already enabled V3. So hold on a second, guys. Let me pull some screens up here. Let me pull some screens, and I will get to all your questions. Thank you for the super chat, Everbrook. I'm going to get to you right next. Okay, we're going to share some screens here, and we're going to show you what it would look like. Okay. I got to log into MetaMask. Hold on a second. PulseChain testnet. That's right. PulseChain testnet. Yep. So guys, you should all have MetaMask, right? You should all just have that in your wallets. And yes, am I using the right wallet? Yes, I am. All right, guys. I'm going to share screens. And on PulseX, it's really simple. If you just look at the screen, you're not going to see staking here today, but it's going to be there, guys. It's going to be there. It's just the testnet. It's coming, so don't worry. You would basically go to the Earn tab up here, and Farms is for liquidity. So Farms is double-sided staking, where you have to stake basically two different tokens, token A and token B. Right now, the only example up here is Pulse and PulseX, but single-sided PulseX staking is in the Pools tab right here. So follow along with me, guys. All the links are in the description below if you want to follow along on your computer. PulseX pools is basically as simple as that. You stake PulseX and you earn other tokens. Pretty simple, pretty simple. And guys, for the for go.hex.com, it's going to look exactly the same. The only difference is that in your MetaMask wallet, you just switch networks from, PulseChain mainnet to Ethereum mainnet and back and forth, and the screens are going to be the same, but you're just going to be on a different network. And to answer your question, long story short, they're not on testnet yet. You just got to probably wait a couple more days for that, is my guess. Forever Broke says Costco dogs should be the official Pulse stablecoin. Price is stood solid for $1.50 for years. Yep, I agree. Pulse chain dogs are pretty tasty. I'm a big fan of Costco myself, actually. I am a member. Yes, it's true. A very exclusive club that is Costco. Yeah, I mean, hey, they've probably been a better stablecoin than the US dollar. You know what I mean? If you would have just invested in hot dogs, you wouldn't have had all your money stolen from you by inflation. So silly you for not putting all your money into hot dogs. I'm long hot dogs. I always have been, always will be. Long mustard, long ketchup, short burgers, but definitely long all those other condiments, all those other fixins. All right, guys, what else? I just saw something come up. Motion blur. Same question? No, different question. All right. Motion blur, since there isn't going to be a V4, is staking on launch. Yeah, it's going to be available right from launch. You're going to be available to hex stake right on launch, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's going to exist from day one, from the moment the fork happens. It's going to be as simple as you go to go.hex.com. You click up on your MetaMask account, right? And up on the top of your MetaMask, I can't share the screen because it's in a different, maybe I can. Hold on a second. All right, guys. Stop sharing this one. Yeah, all right. So it's right up here, guys. If you don't know how to switch networks, it's going to be very, very basic, but for the newbies, very, very basic right here, okay? Look, guys. Up here at the top right corner of your MetaMask tab, you just go switch from PulseChain mainnet to Ethereum mainnet. And if you're on the right website, if you're on go.hex.com or if you're on pulsex.com, or, well, not PulseX, but if you're on app.icosa.pro, you just flip-flop right here. And really, it's going to be so simple that you're just going to go to go.hex.com. There's going to be an automatic message that just pops up and says, do you want to switch networks to testnet or to PulseChain mainnet? Right now, it's going to automatically try to switch you to PulseChain testnet if you go to like pulsex.com, for example. It's going to be so easy. There's going to be nothing to do. There's no V4. Yeah, you're right. There's no testnet V4. But yeah, there's going to be staking from Hex from day one. I'm like 99.99% sure about that. Okay, guys. Like, Richard's not going to launch PulseChain without allowing Hex to be enabled on there. Just like it was on the testnet V2B. It's going to be the same way on PulseChain. Okay. And, if you've been following Alex from Hedron, he's already enabled his app, the Hedron app. He's already enabled that app to be compatible with PulseChain testnet V3. So, for example, yeah, I'm on the PulseChain testnet right now. And, yeah, you guys want to see? So there's a lot of different front ends for staking. I don't think a lot of people realize, but when you stake your Hex, you can stake it on go.hex.com, but there's also like 5 other websites that you can go to stake your Hex because they're all referencing the same code in the back end. So the smart contract, you don't actually see the smart contract. The front end, the website, the UI, that's all the same way of saying a portal, just a screen that lets you see all the data on the blockchain and in the smart contract. All right. So this is app.icosa.pro up on the screen right here. And you're going to have all kinds of different front ends. Okay. So this is one of the Hex front ends in a slightly different format. Okay. And right now I'm connected to PulseChain testnet V3. So if you want to play around on app.icosa.pro, you can do all your Hex staking from app.icosa.pro. I'll post a link in the chat right here, icosa.pro, for all your testnet V3 staking. it's already enabled on this website. So if you really want to verify, make sure it works, guys, check out that website over there. It's a pretty good idea. And Alex from Hedron, he's always quick. He's always quick to make sure everything's all routed up. He got ETH proof of work. He got Ethereum fair working. It's really simple code, guys. You just like plug in different variables right at the beginning, and it just references a different network. So imagine you have the same copy of your blockchain data on just all these different networks. Okay, it's literally just that simple. Let's see. I'm probably pretty far behind in the chat, huh? Coffee, some new people and some OGs. That's right. Hey, give me Liberty. How you doing, bro? Good to see from you again. Grandy says, if RH launched it without an announcement, what would be the best way to find out? Good point. Good call. You can go to ispulselive.com. I forgot how you spell that website. PLSlive.com. I think he actually misspelled. He actually misspelled PLS in the URL. Does anybody have that website for Is Pulse Live? I'm going to look it up on Twitter, guys. Is PLS Live. Oops. All right, let me try to find this. Is PSL Live? I don't know. If anybody's got that link. So if you're the best way to find out would be, and he's gonna announce it, guys. Why wouldn't he? He might wait like 5 minutes, but he's gonna announce it as soon as it's ready. So I really don't think there's any chance of him not announcing it. It's like the biggest thing happening in all of crypto, like this entire year. So I wouldn't worry about this. I wouldn't worry about this potential scenario. Can you say PulseChain with Ivan on Tech's accent? PulseChain. 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 Is PulseChain live, guys? Is PulseChain live? Let's go check Richard Hart's Twitter. Let's see if PulseChain is live. His accent's pretty good. I kind of like the Dutch accent. Hey, is Bridge out? Yeah, pulseramp.com, dude. PulseRamp.com is the bridge. All right. There's going to be other bridges. Be careful at first of all these other bridges. PulseRamp.com is going to be where you go. If you guys want to see a pretty picture of it, here it is, guys. PulseRamp.com. You just connect your wallet and you do all your swapping from mainnet to PulseChain. Right now, you can go from mainnet to testnet, but in the future, you're going to be able to go from PulseChain to Ethereum, back and forth, back and forth. That's how you get your coins from one side to the other. So that's how you would get HEX over on PulseChain, and that's how you'd get PHEX over onto Ethereum if you wanted to do that for whatever reason. All right, all right. I got another super chat. Thank you so much, D'Artagnan. Crypto Starbucks. No question here. Just a statement. Yep, true, sir. Crypto Starbucks. No coffee today. Just a what did I have? I had a C4 Starburst flavored energy drink. Pretty good, actually, to be honest with you. And yeah, it was one of those energy drinks with like a pre-workout formula in it. So I had my fingers, my hands were tingling. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, where's my pre-workout boys at? It's PSL. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Crypto Kings. This guy knows what's up. All right, guys. Is PLS.live. You got to love these URLs, don't you? Everyone with their URLs. We don't like .coms anymore, huh? We don't like .coms. We just like, wait. Status. Here it is. That's it. So, guys, this is the website Crypto Kings just put up. If you really want to keep an eye and make sure that you're there right when at the very second PulseChain launches, well, okay, Richard Hart's going to launch it. Richard Hart's going to announce it. Don't worry about that. But if you want to maybe be 1 or 2 seconds early, if that matters to you, you can maybe check out this, the mainnet RPC right here. You see the red one? That red one is going to start being green when the mainnet is actually live. Now, they're assuming that they have the right URL. Okay, they're assuming that the mainnet RPC URL is going to be rpc.pulsechain.com. But if it's not, there's a chance this website doesn't work. Okay, small chance this website doesn't work. But as you can see right now, we've seen V3 RPC is up and live. Even the V2B stuff is up and live. But guys, don't forget the Testnet V2B. Testnet V2B is going to be deprecated in about 24, 48 hours. So don't get too attached to your Testnet V2. All right. Thank you, Crypto Kings. Do you think PulseChain will launch even though many of the functions on PulseX are not available yet on V3? Yeah, I do think so, Viking Beard, because they've been available on V2 for 9 months, maybe almost a year now. V2B, they've been available for a very, very long time. So hold on one second. You guys want to really see it? I want to show you guys one last time because V2B is not going to be around for a while, okay? It's not going to be around. But guys, the features are all there. All right. Don't worry. Actually, you know what? There's a chance that limit orders might not be there. I don't know. There's a chance limit orders might not be there. My thinking on this would be because Richard might not want people to be using limit orders in that pre-bridge. So he might remove them. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's different code that hasn't been tested yet because, you know, testing limit orders on one fork of Binance Smart Chain is one thing, but then you've got to test out limit orders on this new fork, on this new Ethereum 2.0 fork. So I think everything's going to be business as usual. It's going to be almost exactly the same. The only thing that's potentially not going to be available is limit orders. Do I think PulseChain will launch even though many of the functions on PulseX are not available yet on V3? What do you mean by many? All I see is that the limit orders aren't there. I mean, the pools are still there. Everything's still there. Really, I just think it's not ready. I think they're not pushing it out to the public yet for doing further testing for reasons of just testing behind the scenes, you know. Have some faith, guys. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be there. Maybe limit orders won't be there. I don't know. I would like if limit orders were there, but hey, I was never expecting limit orders. They added them like 6 months ago to version 2. It was a nice add, but if we didn't have limit orders, it wouldn't be any different than Uniswap is today. Right? You don't have limit orders on Uniswap today, do you? No, you don't. Are the pumpkin spice lattes live? I am. I'm live. I feel so alive right now. Pulse. He says pulse. PulseChain. 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 Coffee to the moon. Hey, what's got crypto? Shout out to this guy. He's got a lot of creative talent over here. This guy cracks me up. A lot of parody videos, but they're well done parody videos. You know, they're not like they're only cringe in the way that they're supposed to be because the dude's got a pretty good voice and like he does really good editing. So if you're gonna do some parodies, you know, do it right. This guy's better than Lil Bubble. I think you guys know Lil Bubble. He does like other crypto parody videos, kind of funny. I think Wes got better. Dean says, Coffee, if we sell PulseX at a profit and swap it to PETH, do we know if it will hold the same value on ETH when we bridge it over? Yeah, it will, theoretically. Now, like, is there going to be a liquid market for it over on PulseChain? I don't know. But if you bridge in ETH, for example, and it becomes PETH over on PulseChain, you can always bridge it back. It's always going to be worth that literal same amount of ETH. Now, like, you're only gambling on the fact that are there going to be liquidity pairs on this new chain for, you know, that PETH? There might not be right away, but after a couple of months, even a couple of weeks, hell, even a couple of days, there's going to be a lot of liquidity pairs up. So you're going to be able to trade in and out. I would guess that PETH would have some liquidity over on PulseChain. Maybe not a lot, but probably a little bit. Is that bridge safe? It's the safest bridge we've got, guys. It's forked from the Token Bridge protocol. Token Bridge is what XDAI is using and a couple of other chains. It's a fork of one of the only bridges that has never been hacked. So I'll say that one more time. PulseRamp.com is a fork of one of the only bridges that has never been hacked. So I know there's a lot of other people building a lot of other bridges. There's something called Pulse Portal or something out there that's like a 20 multi-chain bridge. It's all good stuff. It's very cool. I'm all for innovation. But when it comes to bridges, you want to be very, very careful, guys. Because guess how many? There were literally billions of dollars lost to bridges in crypto last year. Okay. Remember the wormhole hack? I mean, that was a Solana thing. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Solana, right? But Bridges get hacked all the time. I would stick to pulseramp.com for at least a couple months until these other bridges prove themselves that they don't get hacked, because bridges are also massive honeypots, because technically there's really no way to do a fully decentralized bridge. You always have to have a bridge owner. You got to have a little bridge troll, and he lives underneath the bridge, and he always demands a troll toll. A little tiny man. He's in charge of the smart contract, and he gets angry a lot. He's short, he's fat. You got to pay the bridge troll toll, guys. All right, let me see how many dollars have been lost to bridges. Money lost to bridges, crypto 2022. $4 billion. This is on CNBC.com. Guys, guess how much money people lost in 2022? $4 billion. And the biggest one was in October. I believe that one was the wormhole hack. Okay. Bridges are dangerous. They're very dangerous. So good question. Is this bridge safe? I mean, the answer is it's the best we got. It's the best we got. Okay. It's copied off of Token Bridge. Okay. Tokenbridge.net. Yeah, if you guys want to read the documentation on that. That's what we got right now. Tokenbridge.net is, I believe, what pulseramp.com is forking off of. It's that protocol. All right. When we start having dollar value, you think slippage will be high the first day? Yes, I do. I think slippage will probably be very high. That's a good point, Pulse Moon. You guys, this is one more reason not to do any crazy ratio trading, because if you're trying, especially if you're trying to trade like $10,000 at a time or $50,000, if you're a bigger player, you're going to probably have liquidity issues and slippage issues. For people that don't know, slippage is what happens when there is low liquidity in certain markets. So, for example, if the whole liquidity pool for, let's say HEX and Pulse, right? Let's say there's only 1 million HEX, and then there's only like 100 million Pulse in that pair, right? But you want to trade 100,000 HEX for Pulse. Well, that's 10% of the existing liquidity. You know, you're trying to trade 100,000 HEX, but there's only 1 million HEX in the entire liquidity pair on that side. So you're going to eat a lot of slippage, meaning if you try to swap that HEX for PLS, you're going to get some crazy high number of slippage. Like you might even get like 5 or 10% slippage from that trade. So always be careful. Stick with the default settings, guys. Don't go changing your settings in PulseChain V2B, or sorry, PulseChain Testnet, or even PulseChain Mainnet. Don't go changing your MetaMask settings, especially in Mainnet. MetaMask is going to put you at a maximum slippage of 0.3% automatically, which means you can't possibly shoot yourself in the foot any more than 0.3%. Basically, here's what slippage is. If I want to buy $1,000 worth of HEX and HEX is at 10 cents, how much will the price be by the end of my purchase? If there's not a whole lot of liquidity, I could be buying into the liquidity range all the way up to 11 cents. And then my average price that I bought in was not 10 cents. It wasn't 11 cents, but it was higher than 10. So that's what slippage is. It's basically like if you're buying a coin, how much is the price going up against you by the time you're done buying all that liquidity? You know, if you think you're buying 10-cent HEX, but your liquidity slippage is, 10%, well, you really essentially, you probably got HEX for like 10.5 or 10.6 cents. So you didn't get that good of a deal if your slippage is really large. So normally slippage is something that you shouldn't even be concerned with, because if you have your slippage limit set to 0.3 and you're only trading in high liquidity environments, you're not going to have that issue. Just be very careful. I do imagine that slippage will be very, very high on the first day, and people are going to get wrecked in all kinds of different ways. This is just one of many ways people will get wrecked. Wrecked means lose all your money for people that are new to crypto. Let's see. And it's spelled REKT. What stablecoin do you think is positioned to launch first on PulseChain? I'm going to go with Coast. 0x Coast. Those guys have got all the compliance in place. They're working hard. They're this close to launching on Ethereum. So they could even beat PulseChain to market. And I think out of all the stablecoins I've seen, probably going to be a 0x Coast first, followed by USDL from Liquid Loans. But Liquid Loans is waiting on purpose. Liquid Loans is purposely going to wait like a month or two until the dust settles, the volatility settles, and then they're going to launch the ability. Then they're going to launch their platform, right? Liquid Loans doesn't want to launch their platform from day one because it's just going to be pure chaos. And if you add lending and leverage and loans to that, if you add loans to crypto and to PulseChain before, let's say before the bridge even opens, man, you're opening up a big can of worms right there. So my guess would be 0x Coast first. Well, obviously, first you're going to do bridged in first before there's anything else. In like the first couple of weeks, you're going to probably have to do bridged in USDC. But if Coast is ready, then CST, the stablecoin, will be ready. You can use that. I would prefer to use that personally. I'm looking forward to that. And then LUSD, which is going to be Liquid Loans version, which is also very cool because it's very secure, assuming it's a direct fork of Liquidity with a T. Man, people pick the stupidest names. Liquidity. That's what the Ethereum guys picked for the name of their lend. Liquid Loans is a much better name. Much better name. Everyone remember to claim your weight token? Yeah, or not. Thanks for the tip, Davis. You don't have to claim your weight token, but you can do this. And now might be a good time, honestly. Now might be a good time to claim that weight token. If you were in any one of these 8 sacrifice sets, let me read those off to you. Weight token sacrifice sets. If you were in PulseChain, PulseX, Liquid Loans, Mintra, Genius, Hurry Cash, or Fiat, or Internet Money Dividend. If you were in any of those, you can claim this weight token. Go to 0xweight.com, 0xweight.com. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. It might not even be worth the amount of gas that you have to pay. You might just want to, you almost might just be better off buying weight on the open market. But hey, if you're cool with the gas fee, if you're cool with the smart contract, I haven't heard of anybody getting hacked from it yet, which seems okay. I have not claimed weight yet. I bought like $100 worth just to have because I know I'm going to need it later. But, this isn't a token that I'm heavily investing in. It's just something that the reason Davis is saying this is because if you don't claim it yet and you were part of those sacrifice sets, well, when PulseChain launches, you're not able to claim it anymore. The catch is that every day you wait to claim, you get a couple more tokens to claim. So it's a game of chicken, right? It's how close can you get to the launch date before you want to claim it. And now sounds like a pretty good time, to be honest. But it's optional, guys. I'm not telling anybody. You don't have to do that at all. You don't have to do that at all. You could just buy a little bit on the open market or just don't even touch it. Like, weight token is not necessarily a great investment for price performance. It's just something nice to have potentially to get lower fees one day if you plan on using the USD, the stablecoin platform from Coast. Crypto Coffee, USDC or USDT? Man, this is the question of the year right here. USDC or USDT? It's picking the least of two evils here. Well, USDC lost its peg by 10%. I can't remember the last time USDT lost its peg. Honestly, I have recency bias here. I definitely have recency bias here because of the chaos, this little catastrophe that happened with USDC and Circle and the banking system, Silicon Valley Bank, Silvergate. But USDT's got a lot of FUD too. However, they don't fall within the jurisdiction of the USA. And right now, falling within the jurisdiction of Hong Kong and Singapore, like USDT, kind of seems like a good thing. The USA is pretty whack right now when it comes to crypto regulations. USDC, man, half and half maybe? Dude, that's a tough question because I've got USDC and I don't have any USDT right now, but I probably should diversify and go half and half, Probably should. Am I really going to get a copy of all my ERC20 tokens? You really, really are. You really, really, really are. I swear. All of them. Well, I guess you might have some scam tokens that were just airdropped to you. You're going to get a copy of all of them. All of them, no matter what. The question is, are you going to be a holder of coins that actually have any tradable value? If you're holding these really obscure micro cap, basically shit coins. If you're holding these like low tier, low cap, awful scam coins, then you're going to get a copy of them, sure, but they're not going to have any value, right? But if you're holding something like Chainlink or Shiba or something that's more known, Compound, I don't know, Aave, chances are maybe somebody will, be willing to pay value for that. Maybe. Probably not much value, but yeah, you're really going to get a copy, really. What the market is willing to pay, that is anybody's guess. Crypto Coffee, do you really think Hedron has a chance of getting to a penny by 25? Let me see. DexScreener.com. Let's take a look at the Hedron chart and see how many X's that would be. Let's see. By 2025, Hedron by 2025. That would be boop. Oh, God, that would be a lot, huh? That would be a lot of zeros, man. By 2025? Probably not. Within the year 2025? Maybe. I just don't know, man. Let's see how much a penny would be. Oh my gosh, a penny. A penny, all right, all right. A penny would be a 400x. Yeah, I think Hedron within maybe the year 2025 could maybe hit a penny. In 2024, that's a 400x away, guys. So you're asking for a 400x in 1 year. I don't know about that. 2024 might not be like the most crazy year for crypto in general. It might be kind of a weird sideways year. So, I mean, look, I'm not great at price predictions. All right. Nobody is, by the way, but there's a chance. Yes, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Man, that's crazy to think about. If Hedron was a penny, I'm kind of making myself bullish just thinking about it. I mean, there's no reason that Hedron can't do a 400x in 2.5 years. But before 2025, within 2024, I don't know about that. What is the weight worth? Well, it's today the coin itself, I think, is worth like 0.003 cents. And you might get like $40 worth of weight. I have no idea. You might get like $20 worth. I don't know if it's worth it to you. Let's say you're getting a $20 airdrop, but you're paying $5 in gas. Is that worth it to you? I don't know, guys. Just be careful out there. Just be careful. Are we going back to 3 to 4 cents? I don't know. I don't think so, but we might tap it. 3 cents is a pretty strong support level at this point, so definitely possible. Guys, 353 people are willing to hang out with me. Thank you, Crypto Stylist. Thank you for being one of those 353. 400 now. This guy just wants me to get a reaction. RIP Joe Rogan. Yeah, right. JPAR, May 5th. What does that mean? Are you running a validator node, Rashad? Rashad, am I running a validator node? I'm looking into it right now, as a matter of fact. I have an old Intel NUC. It's got all the specs, 2 terabytes, 16 gigs of RAM. I'd have to wipe it totally clean. I used to run a Bitcoin full node off this thing. I'm looking into it. I'm going to experiment with it. And if it's easy on the testnet, I'm literally going to run an experiment and see how much I'm making. And I'll let you guys know. I would much rather just buy a box straight up from Alex or whoever else wants to sell pre-made Intel boxes or just whatever validator boxes. What do we do with our PulseX that is on V2B if it's going to disappear? Nothing. It's not real PulseX. It's just going to go away because it doesn't have any value. Don't worry about that, guys. The real coins are going to come when the mainnet comes. All right. You might see some coins on V3. They're just testnet coins. They're just funny money, monopoly money. There's no value to any of this testnet stuff. Okay. Zero value. So yeah, it's going to disappear. That's okay. Don't worry. It never had any value anyway. Info Radio says, how can I buy PulseX? I have my USDT on the ETH network. Okay, well, you can't buy it yet. Just so you know, it's the test net, not the main net. How can I send them to Pulse Network for buying PLSX at launch? Oh, at launch. Okay, well, you're just going to use the bridge. You're going to bridge in your USDT over onto ETH. You might want to check on the liquidity pools, though. If there's more liquidity in the USDC pair, then you might need to trade USDT for USDC and then bridge. And again, the bridge link is pulseramp.com. So you go to pulseramp.com, you hook up your MetaMask, and then you can bridge coins from Ethereum mainnet into PulseChain mainnet. What does getting wrecked mean? Means being a silly goose. What's up, Wild SJ? How you doing? Grow Capital. What is the best strategy for HEX holders after PulseChain launch? I'm confused. Please help. Well, sir, you're not going to like this, but the best strategy for HEX holders, I should say HEX stakers, is to keep staking, keep holding, set up your staking ladder and chill is literally the best strategy. Nobody wants to hear that, but that's all it is. You buy it, you wait a couple of years, you keep buying it. When it's low, you stake it. When it's high, you take some profit. Crazy. Where the link to the bridge he's talking about that Pulse is mad after? What? Dude, just pulseramp.com. Pulseramp.com, guys. I think I already put it in the chat. You know what I mean? Bridge troll sounds like he needs to get laid. Yeah. The bridge troll has not had sex in many years. He's on much of a drought. His wife's boyfriend won't let him. Chris Side Effects, what's up, dude? How you doing? Pulse Moon. Oh, guys, I am way far behind. Holy crap. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Stay calm, stay calm. That's right. That's right, bud. Coffee, any chance we get to see you rip it up on guitar, maybe when Hex hits $1? No, but you know what you will see me get to do? Is I'll get a tattoo when Hex hits $1 and I'll live stream it. So that should be entertaining, right? I need to know where I should get the tattoo. I'm thinking like my forearm right here. I've already got one here, so like maybe the other forearm. What do you think? My butt? Maybe on my butt cheeks? Just kidding. Do you think PLS when live can dip below SAC price? Yes, I mean it can. Look, you're asking me, is it possible? Yeah, of course. I don't think it's likely. PulseX, I think, is a bit more likely that it dips below SAC price. I also don't believe that either will stay below their SAC price for that long, but that might be a little disheartening to some people if you can't wait a couple weeks or months in order to see some gains. But yeah, there's gonna be dips in both. Whether or not they dip below their SAC price, less likely in PLS, probably more likely in PulseX. Thoughts on Bill S686 and its 20-year minimum sentence and $250,000 fine for using a VPN to access banned apps? Seems like a slight overreaction. I didn't read the whole bill, but yeah, Congress has no idea what they're doing. When have they ever had any idea what they're doing, guys? You're asking a bunch of boomers who are about to die how to control the future of finance. Guys, it's our turn. It's our turn right now. We understand what's going on. Our magic made-up internet money is better than theirs. They've deflated the dollar to shit. They stole your purchasing power. They stole any hopes, dreams that you ever had, buying a house, all that 401k money that may or may not be there when you retire, working for 40 years at a job you hate just to keep the machine going. Either president you vote for is just going to be funding the war machine anyway. These guys don't have your best interest at heart, and they just want control. It's all about fear and control. They're afraid that they can't control this, and they can't. They're right. They can't. Nobody can stop you from using a VPN and logging into oneinch.io. Nobody can stop you from going to NordVPN. Nobody can stop you from Googling NordVPN, conveniently outside of the Nine Eyes. That's a spying agency, basically. No one can stop you from getting a VPN. No one can stop you from going to websites that are quote unquote IP blocked in the USA. And no one can stop you from buying and trading any cryptocurrency you want to, as long as you hold your own private keys, as long as you know a number in your head. No one can stop you from clicking buttons and sending digital made-up coins to anybody or any smart contract on the internet ever. So how will that be enforced? I don't know. they say progress is made one funeral at a time, right? So I'm hoping that the new round of crypto lobbyists, the new guys that are up to bat, maybe Gen X wants to take a stab at it. Maybe some of the boomers that actually get it will help us out. I don't see crypto becoming, I fear crypto won't be a bipartisan issue, but basically it's going to be a single issue. I'm going to be a single issue voter from now on. And Republican, Democrat, Independent, whoever's pro crypto is the person I'm going to be voting for. And whoever's trying to devise these schemes to put people in jail, bills always come in with, they talk a big talk and then they get batted down. And what ends up actually going through is only a small percentage of what was originally asked for. Ask for a mile, get an inch. But it's still disgusting to me that they would even try that. That's mass surveillance state bullshit right there. Like, you don't want to live in a country where they could even do this. But also think about how they could even do this. You're going to ban all VPNs? What are you going to do? I don't know, guys. It's just the blind leading the blind out there. I hope that people can either learn, or we get competent people into office, or we elect them, or we ourselves lobby. There's a new class of rich out here, new class of crypto rich, and we've got a lot of money now. So we've also got a lot of influence, and I hope to maybe use that influence to stop this tomfoolery, these little fools. Will Shanghai fork cause another year delay for Pulse? No, they're going to launch it with or without Shanghai. Richard's already specified this. Richard's already confirmed that they're going to go ahead and launch whether or not EIP 1559 is available or not. For people that don't know, the Shanghai fork, otherwise known as EIP 1559, that's the improvement to Ethereum that's going to allow for people to withdraw their staked Ethereum. Right now, with Ethereum proof of stake, you can stake your Ethereum, but you can't withdraw it. And this is not going to cause another year delay. Definitely not. Because, by the way, guys, Shanghai fork is scheduled for April 12th as of right now. So this change is going to be implemented on April 12th, and it's going to be pulled into PulseChain whenever it's ready. Maybe it gets tested for a little bit, maybe a month or so, and then the code is taken from that fork and just copied over to PulseChain. That's the beauty of PulseChain. We just take what works and we scrap what is useless. We scrap all the bloat and we add it to PulseChain. Layer 1 blockchains are kind of, to a degree, they're built as the plane is already in flight, So you can launch a blockchain and maybe PLS doesn't have withdrawals enabled after staking for maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months, but it's going to be pretty quick. Shanghai is going to come out April 12th. We're going to see what happens. Going to see if it's good. If it's good, we're going to take it for PulseChain. The developers are going to implement it over on PulseChain. They're going to have to. You can't have a staking proof of stake token that doesn't have withdrawals. Now, Ethereum's had no withdrawals for almost a year. So you can imagine how pissed off people are about that. So waiting a couple months is not going to be nearly as bad as waiting a year. And it's not going to delay Pulse at all. Richard's already signified that he's going to go ahead and launch with or without Shanghai. It looks to be temporarily without Shanghai. Without withdrawals. I should just say withdrawals so people know what I'm talking about. Withdrawals, guys. Withdrawing your staked PLS. If you're a validator, you stake PLS to secure the network, and you earn a little bit of APY for doing so in the form of more PLS. That's what we're talking about here. Does it matter when I mint my Hedron as long as I'm before the stake ended? Nope. No, it doesn't. Does it affect the amount minted? No, actually, it's kind of better. I prefer waiting until my stake is up. I don't really bother minting my Hedron early just because I'm only going to have to pay another gas fee later. If I mint it halfway through, I still got the other half of my Hedron that I'm going to have to mint. So, no, personally, I just wait till the stake is over to mint my Hedron. The only difference is if you have a lot of Hedron waiting for you now, you might want to mint it now because you can put that Hedron to work by staking it for you. Whereas if you're waiting, that Hedron isn't making you any yield. So you're not earning any more Hedron or any more Icosa. But just ask yourself, how much do you have? How much Hedron can you possibly mint right now? If it's only $100 worth, $200. Maybe it's not worth it to start staking it. And then because you're only going to have to pay another gas fee at the end of your stake if you want to mint it all. But if you're sitting on a pretty big bag of unminted Hedron and you just learned about it and you're like, oh crap, I want to go stake that stuff. Yeah, then you might want to just do it now. Just know that you're going to have another gas fee later on if you want to mint the rest of it. What is the main risk in pairing PLS and PLSX in the farm to earn the INC token? Very good question. All right, Brands, Crypto Kid, and everybody, this is a good question. So there's a concept in decentralized exchanges called impermanent loss, which I like to say is a bullshit word for permanent loss. Now, what is impermanent loss? You put up a little bit of PLS and a little bit of PLSX in a liquidity pool. This is as an example. A liquidity pool can be any two coins. You can have a HEX PLS liquidity pool. You can have a PulseX PLS liquidity pool. You can have a Hedron HEX liquidity pool. Whatever people decide to do, the crowd dictates where the liquidity goes. Right now, as an example, on Testnet V3, the only liquidity pool available to you is the PLS, PLSX liquidity pool. So what do you risk by putting these up? When you're putting up liquidity, you're basically allowing everybody else to trade on the decentralized exchange using your money. You're offering up your money, and in return, you're making platform fees, number one, and you're making INC token, number two. All right, platform fees and INC token. Most DEXs don't have INC token. Most DEXs, you just make platform fees, and that's enough for a lot of people, especially a lot of smarter people that want more of one coin and less of another coin. But now, PulseX is going to have symmetric liquidity, unlike Uniswap V3, meaning if you want to put up 10,000 PLS, you have to put up an equal dollar value of PLSX on the other PLSX side. So if the ratios are 2-to-1, and I put up $10,000 worth of Pulse PLS, I'm going to have to put up $10,000 worth of PLSX. Okay. You're going to have to put up more PLSX than PLS if the ratio is, 2 PulseX per every 1 PLS. The risk is that when people are trading in and out of your token all day long, right, and you actually want to pull that money back out, you want to pull the liquidity back out, you might be left with more of the coin that you prefer or more of the coin that you don't like and less of the coin that you do like. So when you're putting up liquidity in these pools, make sure that the coins you're putting up are coins that you'd be happy with having more of either one. So PulseX seems like a pretty decent pool if you like both coins. But if you don't like both of the coins in the liquidity pool, you shouldn't even be providing liquidity. In fact, if you're not working with a couple thousands of dollars already, like if you don't have like 10 G's or whatever, maybe liquidity is probably not for you. Okay. You're probably just better off buying and holding the coins than having to learn what impermanent loss is the hard way, right? But okay, let's say PLS is $1 and PulseX is 50 cents, right? And I put up an equal amount on both sides, both liquidity pools. One liquidity pool, both sides, okay? You following me? PLS is $1, PulseX is 50 cents. People are trading in and out all day long. This goes on for, let's say, 3 months. I come back later, 3 months later, I check on it. Now I have, let's say $12,000 worth of PLS. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. Let's say the price of PLS goes up to $5 and the price of PLSX in that time has gone down to 25 cents. So PLS did a 5x and PulseX dropped by 50%. If I want to pull my tokens out, I'm now going to have more PulseX, remember the less valuable token, and I'm going to have less PLS because everybody was rushing to buy that PLS and they were spending their PLSX for it. So they input a lot of PulseX into the pool and they took out a lot of PLS. And part of that was your money. Part of that was your coins. So they took out a lot of PLS because they wanted a lot of PLS and they didn't want their PulseX as much. So in return, you're left with more PulseX and less PLS. And now you're a sad boy because you have maybe half the amount of Pulse that you had previously, and Pulse is now worth 5x as much. But hey, you got double the amount of PulseX. That's great. You have more PulseX coins. But guess what? PulseX is worth half as much. So you're stuck with more of the less valuable coin and less of the more valuable coin. But hey, you also earned INC token. You also earned INC token, which doesn't happen on every platform. That's impermanent loss, okay? So what I'm saying is that it's not like that scenario, that example is not exactly, it's not going to happen and play out like that in real life. Just be wary that you don't end up with more of the token that becomes less valuable and less of the token that becomes more valuable, because people are trading with your money in these liquidity pairs. Hedron at a penny is 4,000x, not 400. Oh shit, is it really? Yeah, you're right. 4,000x. Guys, I retract my previous statement. I was wrong on that. Yeah, Hedron at a penny. Doesn't seem that likely. Thanks, wonderful. Thanks for the correction. Yeah, just doing the math wrong on that. 4,000x. Yeah, that seems a lot less likely. Crypto Coffee, you're awesome. Thank you. There's a huge discrepancy in deposit amounts between testnet v2 and v3. That's okay. They're just testnets. It's okay. Testnet v2 was forked at an earlier time when the sacrifice balances weren't fully fleshed out yet. Okay. So if anything, the testnet v3 balances are going to be a bit more accurate. So don't worry. Yeah, Hedron getting to a penny. I retract that. It seems a little less likely. 4,000x. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. I mean, hey, it's still possible, guys. It's still possible. Don't ask a hex game for price targets. Never. Yeah, it's kind of annoying being asked for price targets. Don't ask anybody. Like, if you're asking anybody for price targets, they're just pulling numbers out of their ass the same way you are. Like, stop asking other people for price targets, guys. I used to do the same thing. I used to go on crypto YouTube channels and just scroll mindlessly for my little dopamine hit for someone to tell me that Bitcoin was going to hit 30K. I just wanted to hear it from somebody else. Guys, it's all going to pump. It's all going to go up in the next bull market. Whether that goes up 100x or 1,000x, 574x, I don't know. Guys, I can draw you lines on a chart. I know how to do, Fibonacci, whatever. I can do the TD sequential. I can pull up whatever indicator you want to see to confirm your bias, to confirm your confirmation bias. I can pull up whatever you want. And I can make a nice little story about why the price is going to hit this level or this level, because this resistance line was broken. And now we have, blah, blah, blah. Prices are all going to pump in the bull market. They're all going to dump in a bear market. All right. All right. Guys, the discrepancies between two testnets is not a big deal. Okay. Like I said, there's more. If anything, they're more accurate on testnet v3, because on v2b, they didn't even have the full sacrifice sets squared away yet. They just take price targets out of their furry asses. Yeah. Those furries. Those furries. How much did you sack? That's offensive, bro. How much money is in your bank account, bro? Tell me how much money is in your bank account. Idiot. Howdy, Hexicans. Brenton, how you doing, buddy? Pulse Former, how you doing? Bitfinesse, I'm not worthy, miss a wild SJ. Oh, I'll stop at you too. Kayvon says, how much PLS should I own if I want to be rich? Oh, Jesus Christ. What an awful question. Oh my God. 4,000x is fine for me. Yeah, hey, it's not like Hedron can't do a 4,000x. 400x just seems a lot more likely. Hey, what's up, MT Coiner? How you doing? Maps are tough on stream. Yes, they are. My eyes didn't catch the extra decimal place. That's why. Crypto Coffee, have you looked into gematria of PulseChain? No, I'm not really much of a gematria guy. I'm more of a get people onboarded. I'm more, practical, right? What do we need to do? What matters? What matters most to get people in? Now, if people respond to gematria and that's what gets them on board, that's great. There's a whole market for that. Waters Above he's totally attacking that market, and a whole bunch of people like looking at words and assigning numbers to them and reading the tea leaves and telling a story that prices are going to go somewhere or history is going to happen and unfold in a certain way because of numbers assigned to letters in words. It's okay if you believe that, but there's 99% of the population that has no idea what gematria is. I want to break things down to make it easy for anybody to get onboarded, because at the end of the day, the price is a function, Metcalfe's law function, literally, of the number of people in the network. The only thing that matters is adoption, onboarding, and user experience. Literally the only thing. So if you guys like gematria, go follow Waters Above. Pretty cool guy, actually. Pretty interesting guy. Have a suggestion for on-ramp coffee. What does that question mean? Do you think more people will try to get PLS/PLSX at launch or HEX on Pulse? I think a lot of people are going to go for PLS, because I think that's the bag that no one's had an opportunity to get, you know. I think they're also going to buy HEX on PLS because it's going to start from zero. They're going to buy all of them, right? People are going to buy all three of them. But I think what people are going to be rushing to get at the beginning, I think, will be PLS, simply because that was a sacrifice set that came before PLSX. Not as many people knew about it. Not as many people got into it. And it was only 2 weeks long as opposed to over a month, like the PulseX one. So just makes sense, you know. Don't let your own bags blind you to the reality of what's happening. Where did I get the shields? I got it from shieldmasters.com, bro. Check out shieldmasters.com with a Z. Shieldmasters with a Z. The first one over there, that was sent to me for free. So shout out to those guys. They're pretty badass. And then the other one, that's like the Legend of Zelda shape one. I bought that one for like $400, I think. Your LED lights are giving me a dopamine hit. Yeah, baby. Check it out. I got some more LED lights right behind my face there. I can always know what price HEX is going to be. Got my little, it's called Tidbits, TIDBYT.com. People make apps for this thing, and they just like program in these apps. So I got Neon Cat right here. You know Neon Cat. Meow, 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 meow. Neon Cat, guys. And then next up is Pikachu, actually. We'll see what Pikachu's doing in a minute. I like the lights too. Thank you, Bitfinesse. Thank you. Yeah, this is a 20. Oh, let's see. There's Pikachu. There's Pikachu. It looks like he's sticking his tongue out at me. It's kind of hard to see right now. And yeah, the light thing, guys, it's this. It's $20 Amazon USB. It just makes the light look really cool. It kind of like magnifies the light or whatever. There we go. All right. Which coin will take off when? Good one. Good one. Sipping some coffee and listening to coffee. What a day. That's right. That's right. Richard's a perfectionist, wouldn't launch poorly. Yeah, I don't think he would launch without the maximum number of features that he feels comfortable with launching. Finally made it to a live. Hey, thanks, Schwabitz. Thanks for coming, buddy. Thank you, all 500 of you. Coffee, can I have a wrench? You're my last one. Yeah, you can have a wrench. Sandy B, where you at, Sandy? Sandy B, I'm looking for you over here. Here you are. Your wrench, sir. Use it wisely. With great power comes great responsibility. Yep, there you are. Now, don't just go whacking everybody now. You hear? You be careful with that wrench, you hear? Looks like the paper hands are leaving. Good, yeah. Well, the paper hands are leaving, and that one, well, there's like 2 whales that just dumped, but they're out. So, hell yeah, right? Every time a whale dumps, an angel gets his wings, guys. When a whale dumps, an angel goes to heaven. All right. I should say when a whale nukes himself, when they're totally out. I like seeing whales with 0 HEX in their ether skin. I like it a lot. Is there a website showing all potential airdrop projects for PulseChain Lightweight? Good question. Does anybody know the answer to this question? Hex info. No, not Hex info. God, that was an old website. there's something out there that might be like useful. Hold on one second. Pulse hot list, maybe pulsehotlist.com. Pulse hot list. I promise it's not a porn site. Pulse hot list. Maybe. Might show you that. Sandy Beach needs that wrench. Hey, he's got that wrench, baby. Give Sandy a wrench on the beach. Oh, I'll give him one. I'll give him a wrench on the beach. Adoption is key. On launch, thank you. Let it go diet. Jeremy Nurse asks, on launch, can you walk through what metrics we should look for to understand what is happening and where to find them? Well, you can go to launchpad.pulsechain.com and you can find a lot of statistics over there. You can just go to the block explorer, scan.pulsechain.com. You can, but there's how many metrics do we really need to worry about, right? The only metric I really care about is the price. Maybe number of wallets and stuff like that. We can make sure that the network is growing. Number of wallets with over a certain amount of PLS. There's different metrics that'll come up. There's different websites that people will make. So it'll be fun to explore, just like people did with HEX. All these websites didn't come out right away, but in the first couple of months, people made stuff like hex.vision, hexcalc.net, stakehex.today, Staker app. All these websites show very useful statistics. Hexdailystats.com, that's a really good one. And if you want to worry about all the stats and stuff, I would just wait a little bit of time. But in the meantime, price is what I care about. Price is one of my favorite metrics. In fact, I think it's my favorite metric. Tex Hex, thank you, Coffee, for all you do for our community. You rock. Okay. Thank you, buddy. Tex Hex, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. Don't you think the buy and burn function would cause PulseX to outperform PLS? Yeah, over a long enough time horizon, I do. But in the first couple of years, probably not. Now, look, am I going to be wrong on this? Time will tell. Time will tell. I feel pretty strongly about this prediction that Pulse will outperform PulseX in the first year or two. Now, I think eventually, year 3, 4, 5, PulseX will start to shine, and the buy and burn is always going to be good from day one. It's always going to be good, guys. But you need volume to scale up. There's going to be a lot of volume at first, but it's going to take some time before it gets to the levels that Uniswap V3 is at. When we're at Uniswap V3 levels of volume, when we're doing billions of dollars of volume a day, yeah, it's going to pump the shit out of PulseX. But how quickly is it going to be before we get there? It's not going to be overnight, guys. We have to scale up from zero. So we're going to start with it might seem like there's a lot of crazy activity at first, but realize that we're only growing. We're only growing from where we start out. We're not getting smaller. I don't picture us getting much smaller. Oh, but that reminds me. Yeah, buy and burn is another function that was on Testnet V2B that is not on PulseChain Testnet V3 yet. So just keep an eye out for that. If you guys want to know what buy and burn looks like, let me try to find it. Doom, 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 doom. What happened to the buy and burn? The buy and burn could be automated as well. Here it is. Yeah, see, you had burn and voting and all these functions on Testnet V2B that aren't shown yet. Okay, but I wouldn't panic. I'm not panicking about this. Don't worry, guys. There is literally no way Richard Hart launches PulseX without buy and burn. After all that talk about it, there's no way. There's no way. This is what buy and burn would look like, guys. This is Testnet V2B. Again, it's only going to be around for like 24 hours, so you're lucky I'm able to show this right now. But if you look at the screen, it's going to be under the ... more tab, right? You've got burn, info, voting. For the guy that asked about stats, info is where you're going to go. You can look at all the analytics right here. PulseChain analytics, liquidity, volume, all these different tokens, all the liquidity pools, blah, blah, blah. And then buy and burn is something that anybody can do. You just click the burn button. And what this does is basically every time you trade, a small fraction of those coins is used to buy up the price of PulseX. Okay. And then all that purchased PulseX just sits up here in this little box up here. Like there's a little counter. It doesn't really sit there. Okay. But there's a little box that counts all the PLSX that's collected from trading fees. And then anybody, you, me, your sister, anybody can just go in and say burn. You just burn it. And that's that. That's that. And you burn it, you take it off the market, you reduce supply, you increase the price from the buy, and you reduce supply from the burn. And it's a beautiful thing. Is that a Les Paul? No, it's an Ibanez. Sorry, I just blinded someone, Brenton. All right, all right. What is a good VPN? Well, I mean, I don't know. NordVPN I've heard is good. I've heard TorGuard is good. I mean, you try to just get a VPN outside of the Five Eyes. Let's see. ExpressVPN. Basically, there were 14 countries that allied together to essentially hand over data at will to VPN service providers. But NordVPN is based in Panama, and they're not they're not a narc. Okay. ExpressVPN is not a narc. Surfshark is not a narc. Proton VPN, Switzerland, definitely not narcs over there. Gotta love the Swiss. Cyber Ghost, Romania, Romania. Fastest VPN, Cayman Islands. Yeah, those are all good ones. They're all more or less the same. My wife missed her stake date, end date, and now it's gone. Where does it go? Can it be recovered? Tom, yeah, well, she would have had to have forgotten about it for 2 years. It's not just gone overnight. Basically, what happens when your HEX stake ends is that you have a 2-week grace period to end it without any penalty. So you have 14 days to end your stake without any penalty. After that, the stake bleeds out at 1% per week for the next 100 weeks. So if the stake is completely gone, that means she must have forgotten about it for 50 weeks plus the grace period, 52 weeks. Sorry, 102 weeks. So she must have forgotten about it for just under 2 years. So it could be all gone, but if it's been less than that, then just make sure you're on the right browser, make sure you're on the right account, make sure it's the right MetaMask, refresh the page. Maybe she's still got some left. I don't know. Really just depends how long it's been. I mean, Hex has only been around for 3 years, so I'd find it hard to believe that she bled out over literally 100 weeks and now it's all gone. Seems unlikely, but that could be your case. I'm not sure. Crypto Khalil, sorry. Let me get you a wrench, sir. Where are you at? Where are you at, Crypto Khalil? Crypto Khalil, say something in chat. Crypto Khalil, say something in chat so I can get you the most recent. Crypto Khalil, where are you? Oh, here you go. Here you go. You're a mod now. You're a mod, Harry. I'm a what? You're a moderator, Harry. You were always a moderator. You just didn't know it. All right. Just a little nervous. I don't want to miss another pump. Thanks for the advice, Tigray. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Hey, nice little dip buying opportunity. Could it dip more? Yes. Could it go to $1? Yes. Has anybody tried the bridge on MetaMask app on phone? Not working from what I see. It takes a long time, Coriel. Yeah, I've noticed that the MetaMask app on phone is it just takes a long time to load. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but just give it like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Make sure your Wi-Fi is obviously correct and everything. Connecting to the internet. MetaMask, I prefer not using it on my phone because I carry my phone around everywhere. So yeah, I don't carry anything meaningful on my phone. But if you have a burner phone or if you have a burner laptop, that's usually what I prefer to use. Crypto Truth, as long as I explained I didn't catch your messages and didn't want to leave a bad impression, a wild SJ is Hex Sci-Fi royalty. Yeah, she's done so much work regarding the book, basically. She's basically edited the whole book, audiobooked the whole thing. It's going to be on Audible. All that work, I don't know who else would have been willing to do that. Like that book had been sitting there for years in a messy, unedited form. People had come and gone and tried to edit it and given up like pretty quickly. SJ was the only one with the cajones. The cajones, I tell you. Yeah, she stuck it out for over a year. Go look at Richard's latest tweet about VPNs. Is he watching right now? Richard, are you watching? You sly dog, you. Richard literally just tweeted about VPNs. Richard watches. Always watching. I wonder if he's got like an alt account. Dun, 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 dun. What are you talking about? He didn't tweet about VPNs. Oh, latest tweet. Latest tweet. Yeah, I don't know. He got me excited, guys. I thought Richard was watching. Come on. Price target for Hex before mainnet. You just had to ask me, didn't you? Price target Hex before mainnet. I can see like, well, look, honestly, this is going to get weird because if Richard does a stealth launch and he doesn't tell anybody, which might actually be the smart game theory move, because then people would rush in to buy after mainnet and they'd be actually buying the price up instead of selling the price down. If Richard does a stealth launch, we could see EHEX and PX maybe 25, 30 cents. If Richard announces the date, we could see a bunch of FOMO. We could see like 50 cents, but then there'd probably be a pretty big sell-off because people are stupid and they buy the rumor, sell the news. They just come to play a short-term game and they don't care. Starting to think that stealth launch might be kind of the way to go. We'll see. We'll see what Richard thinks. Price target for a dozen eggs next fall. This is a good question. Man, dozen eggs. Well, let's see. 50 cents an egg times 12. That's $6. Really depends on what the eggs had to eat, what the chickens had to eat that day. How often are these chickens having sex? What's their libido? You know, I want my hens nice and hormoned up. You know, makes for a good egg. Crypto coffee. What the fuck are all the boomers doing? It's insane. I know, dude. This is a terrible, terrible. Look, I haven't read that part of the bill. Sounds awful, but it also sounds like, very unlikely to happen. Sounds like one of those, if it bleeds, it leads, news article, headline, chaos, apocalypse, the world is ending type of posts. But I find it very unlikely that they'll, number one, actually get that even through Congress. Number two, that they'll actually be able to enforce that. If that bill got through, I'm out of here, man. Fuck the USA, I'm out. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think that they're gonna put people in jail for 20 years if I have a VPN and I use 1 inch. Does Hex have to discover the price on PulseChain? Yeah, it's got to go through price discovery. It's not just going to be copied at the same price. I mean, it's going to start at 0 technically because there won't be any bridge. Price discovery will happen the moment that Hex on PulseChain is bonded to a coin of value. Could be EHEX, it could be Ethereum, it could be USDC. The moment that it's bonded after the bridge to a coin with the USD value, that'll be the first price point of PHEX that we have. Where the egg price timeline at? Yeah, I don't know, man. You tell me. Are we talking about quail eggs? What kind of eggs? Turkey eggs? What kind of eggs? What bird? Blue jay? Titmouse? His tweets about VPSs was referencing the insane potential regulations. Oh, wow. Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. You guys were just copy pasting the tweet for me. Yeah. That's awful. That's awful. That is really, really awful. Hope it doesn't go through. Hope it doesn't go through. Fresh FUD, guys. Hot off the press. Fresh FUD. Got some fresh FUD for you. I heard you like FUD. Yo, dog. I heard you like FUD. A dozen eggs are $8. Jesus Christ. Canada, what are you doing, Canada? Canada. Come on, stop it. We have eggs for $4 over here, guys. Come down. Come on down. We have $4 eggs in the USA. It's great. $8 eggs in Canada. It sucks. Come for the eggs. Stay for the corruption. Which came first, chicken or the egg? The egg did. Dinosaurs laid eggs before chickens existed. Hey, fun fact. You're right, Wake Dog. Dinosaurs were lizards, right? So yeah, they laid eggs. You imagine eating a dinosaur egg? Imagine like they just Jurassic Park some dinosaurs back into existence just to lay eggs. Sell them on the black market, charge like thousands of bucks. Ostrich, emu. Monica, how you doing? Good to see you. Quail eggs is where it's at. I love a good quail egg. You guys ever get like hot pot? Go to a Chinese, Asian place. They do a hot pot. You get the quail eggs, put them in some sauce, cook them right on there, right on the table. Delicious. I love a good quail egg. What is your take on why HEX is dumping? Well, mainly because two whales decided to unload all their bags. They sold like 70 million HEX, one guy. Some other guy sold a couple tens of millions, but they're out, guys. Crypto's volatile, man. What do you think is, we went up 6x in 2 months. Then we dropped 25% in a week. That's the game. That's the game we're playing, okay? The price you pay for the mad gains is extreme volatility. If you're glued to the chart day after day, minute after minute, you're going to have a bad time emotionally. Take it from me. I used to try trading. I used to try all this crap that didn't work. Bots, automated trading, options, leverage. None of it worked. It took a huge toll on my mental health, huge toll on my physical health, relationships. Hard to focus at my day job because I was worried about whether or not my limit was going to get hit or my stop loss was going to get hit. It's just not worth it, guys. HEX lets you step away from the chart, stake it, set it, forget it. Stake it for the long term. Those are the only people winning in crypto, are the people that can detach themselves emotionally and just have some faith that the price is going to go up in a couple of years' time. But yeah, HEX is dumping because of a couple of whales. And then a couple of minnows, right? That latch on. There's always a couple of barnacles on those whales' back, on those whales' belly. Don't be a silly whale. Don't be a barnacle either. Real thoughts about finding a nice non-US country? Yeah, let's see. Well, Portugal sounds pretty all right. Looked into Dubai, but cultural barrier for me. I could always renounce and go to like St. Kitts. I don't know. One of those Caribbean islands. The island that what was his name? Roger Ver. Go to Roger Ver's island. What is it? Antigua? St. Kitts? St. Lucia? But then you're living an island life, right? You don't have like I want to be able to go to a Chipotle across the street, you know what I'm saying? If your island doesn't have Chipotle, like Puerto Rico doesn't have any Chipotles. It sounds so stupid, but it's fucking true, man. I want some fast casual dining.